All right, so we should be live. I see levels, so I think we're good. Play some music. It's good to be back. There's a lot of weird feedback right there, but anyway, good to be back. Back with my friends, back with Mr. Dave Hastings. Not here in studio, unfortunately. I just have my whiny sidekick today, Louie, who's going to decide to want to play with everything right now because, hey, that's life. That being said, last day of maternity leave for Mr. David Hastings. So how you doing tonight, my friend? Did you enjoy your last couple weeks of maternity leave?
Well,
or paternity leave, I should say.
I'm in week 2 now, so I go back a week from today.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So far, so good. Getting a lot of quality time in. It's been nice, that's for sure.
That's awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Glad to hear it. You know what else I'm glad to hear? We're going to dive right into it. Little football right off the bat. Giants finally grew Dabolls and fired Daboll because it needed to happen. He's been a mess. Hasn't been right since the first year. I don't know if his head got too big after he took Daniel Jones to the playoffs, and I don't know what it was, but ever since then it's been a steady decline. And case in point, I mean, to be honest, I love the way Dart plays. But the fact that you keep calling like running plays for him and you keep calling different things for him and put him in harm's way, it seemed like Daboll was more into trying to save his job than he was actually trying to keep this team together and healthy for the year and winning ball games. And that's just not a guy you want to see. And now I've already seen a picture of him. Somebody caught him outside of his house today in New Jersey, and he's wearing a Penn State sweatshirt. So I think he's already lobbying for a new job with Penn State since they'll be looking for a coach as well. So, yeah, this was overdue. I mean, this is the 4th game this season that they've blown. They are 0-4 in road games this year in which they had a 10-point or more lead, and let's say a double-digit leads in all 4 games, and are 0-4 in all 4 games. I was actually bragging on Sunday at the end of the 3rd quarter when we were up, going, "Oh man, this is it. We're up 10. This is great. 4th quarter, we're up 10. This is amazing. We should be able to win this game. Put it away. We're up 2 scores." And instead, they collapse again. And I'm sorry, but I put this on the defense, and I put this on the coach. I put this on Daboll. I put this on Shane Bowen, who I don't understand how, if Kafka is the new interim head coach, his first order of business wasn't to fire Shane Bowen. Because he is a mess himself and should not be back next year. Give Kafka the tryout here. Kafka's been in on a few other opportunities. But again, I think you need a proven coach who could come in and handle the New York media. It's a different type of beast. And I'm not saying I don't want John Gruden, but would I take 4 or 5 years of Bill Belichick? I'd think about it. Would I take somebody else, maybe a Lane Kiffin, maybe who's had a little bit of experience? Would I take a McDaniel who's had a little bit of experience? Would I take somebody else, anybody else right now? I probably would, because Daboll sucked, honestly. Between his play calling and his in-game management was absolutely atrocious. And when you blow that many 4th quarter leads, not even in an entire season, we're only halfway through the year. We're barely halfway through the year. And 4 games. This is a team that instead of being 2-8 could be 6-4 and be something. 0-4 in games in which you've led by. That's an unbelievable stat to me, and one that I got to be honest, I put on the coaching staff, and I hate to say it because I don't want to see a coaching tree carousel. I don't want to see guys in and out every 2 years, 4 years. I don't want to see that. I don't want to be the Cleveland Browns. I don't want to be what the New York Jets have become. I don't want to be the Carolina Panthers. I want to be the Giants. I want to be that storied franchise who, even when we weren't good, we at least still had good leadership at the top. And right now, we don't have it. So I think they did right by keeping the GM because I think you have to allow him the opportunity to hire a second coach. I don't think that you fire the GM right away. I think the GM's got to get a little bit more rope. He gets a second coach. But after that, you get nothing else. This is the prove it or lose it phase of Joe Shane's tenure as GM. And I'm disappointed in a way because, again, now especially with this loss, the Giants season's completely over. Like, you might as well be going for a draft pick. You might as well be, Dart's out on concussion protocol. Cam Scatterbo's out for the year. Neighbors out for the year. The defense under Shane Bowen is atrocious. And I hate to say that because they should have one of the best defenses in the league. They should have one of the best D-lines in the league that should be getting after the quarterback play after play. And instead, we're not. And again, I put that on the coaching. I put that in schemes. If you look at the amount of times where those four guys or four studs are on the field at the same time, it's actually very limited. A lot of times, I only got 3 out of the 4 on there or 2 out of the 4 on there. It's not the madhouse I thought it was going to be when you think of Burns and you think of Thibodeau and you think of Lawrence and you think of Carter, and you think these guys should be on the field together all the time, not just a fraction of the time.
Oh, especially in fourth quarter when you have the lead.
Exactly. When do you think you need to get after the quarterback the most? And what are we not doing? So again, I put that. I don't put that on the talent because there's talent here. I know that there's talent here. I put it on the coaching staff, and I'm glad they made this change. I wish Bowen would have went with him, because I don't think the Giants are going to be successful defensively with him there at all. And I expect him out next year when they bring in a new head coach who's going to want to bring in his own, their own coordinator. So the downfall, honestly, when I look back at all of this, the downfall of Daboll was the Wink Martindale scandal. Was when everything came out about how the way the Wink thing went down. That was the beginning of the end for Daboll. Because at first, a lot of people, they took Daboll's side. They sided with Daboll. They wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. But in the end, it looks more and more like Wink was the guy who was right. And now Daboll's out and Wink's laughing somewhere else. So, yeah, I got to be honest. I'm okay with the news. It's the news I kind of wanted, unfortunately. Although I'm never rooting for someone to lose their job. But at the same time, he's going to sit back and make $1 bajillion now doing absolutely nothing. Or who knows, maybe being the next Penn State head coach. So we'll have to get Fife's opinion on that as a big Penn State fan one of these days. But see if he would even want Daboll as Penn State's next head coach. But I'm sure that's weeks, if not months away. So, yeah. But as far as new coaches, I don't know. I just know I don't necessarily want Gruden, although I know he's going to probably be wanting the job. I have a feeling Belichick's going to be in on the job, even though they've already asked him, and he says he's focused on Wake Forest, not the Giants. But are you kidding me? If he has a chance to get back in the NFL and take the job, do something like that, and if that's still something he wants to do and really be that coach and be, it's a spot. And I wouldn't mind seeing it for 5 or 6 years, hopefully. But other than that, I don't know who's out there. And I don't know who's going to be available. So I don't want to speculate on coordinators and other things. Plus, I don't know if going another coordinator is the right route. We've gone that way a bunch lately, and it hasn't worked out. So maybe it's time to go with somebody more proven. But who that is, I have no freaking idea. So I'm sure that'll be, and who knows, maybe Mike Kafka comes in and does an amazing job. I hope he does. But to be honest, with no Jackson Dart, with no Neighbors, with no Scatterbo, and Russell Wilson as your quarterback and the garbage he looks like, I almost hope that that he makes a move and switches to Winston. I'd rather see Winston at quarterback right now. So I know I'm rambling a lot about the Giants. I haven't let you jump in. I want to let you jump in. And see what your thoughts are on this situation. But yeah, it's just absolutely insane for Giants fans. And a lot of them are probably happy, but at the same time, who's the next guy?
Well, I mean, who's the next guy is obviously going to be your main question going into the offseason. You feel like you got your quarterback, your running back, your number one wide receiver. You got your starting left tackle. You've got your starting defensive line. You've got one or two linebackers, one or two corners. All right, like so, there's a lot of guys out there that are going to want to take this Giants job and feel like they really have the opportunity to make this team what it can be. For Daboll, though, I mean, it's just proof how quickly things change in a matter of just less than 4 full years, right? You know, four seasons ago, he's coach of the year, leads the Giants to their first playoff win in 11 years. Like, holy shit, right? And here we are. You got a 6-11 season to follow that up, 3-14 to follow that up, and then 2-8 was the straw that breaks the camel's back. But to your point at the beginning, right? It really is blowing 4 leads of 10 or more points, right? You can look at the Cowboys game in week 2 where, like, maybe they weren't up by double digits, but, you score with how much time left and you allow your defensive coordinator to play prevent defense when Dallas has one of the best kickers in the league. Like, I think there is a lot of validity in letting him go. I also think, to your point, right, you've got to have some level of structure, and that's been probably the Giants' biggest issue over the last several years is the lack of stability at GM and head coach. So, if you're going to let go of the head coach, you keep the GM, you give him another shot because, let's be honest, the GM's put some talent on this team, right? So, yeah, I think it's a move that had to happen. I think it's a move that, it's not going to set up the Giants for having any worse of an end to the season as they may already have had. Sometimes these firings lead to a little bit of a run, which, in the current standings and setup position, it really just costs them draft position more than anything else. But, you got to look at it and you take it for what it is. And the guy didn't do enough to keep his job. It's really that simple, and that's the reality of it. And I think the Giants made the right move. You keep the GM, you let him bring in a new head coach. Kiffin was the name I heard. Belichick's the name I heard. Some people are talking about a potential trade with the Steelers to get Tomlin, or maybe Tomlin leaves Pittsburgh after this year. So there's going to be plenty of names that are going to want this job.
Yeah, Tomlin's not going.
Yeah, so I think the Giants are in a position for the first time in a long time where they're looking for a head coach that they actually have a roster that's desirable for that head coach, right? And I think that's the big positive as a Giants fan you go into this offseason saying is, well, it's the first time we're looking for a head coach probably since Coughlin left where we actually have a team that somebody's going to want to come in here and coach and believe they can win with right from the get-go and not feel like they're doing a rebuild top to bottom, and their job's pretty much on the line every week. So I think that helps a lot, and it's, look, at some point you got to assume they're going to get it right. Yeah, I mean, you have to assume they're going to find the right guy at some point. So I don't know if I'd go the Belichick route. I think that's a little too much. I also heard rumors of Jackson Dart's head coach from college.
Yeah, isn't that Lane
Kiffin? It might be. That's why when you said Kiffin, I'm like, wait, is that Scott?
Yeah, he went to Ole Miss. And that's why a lot of people think that could be a fit. And, listen, obviously Kiffin would be interested, but I don't know. He's got something cooking there in Ole Miss too, so it would have to be, the Giants would have to be really interested. But again, it's definitely going to be a name in the mix. Another couple of just interesting stats I saw where a couple of people on Twitter, one guy posted about how Daniel Jones 8-2, Giants are 2-8, Sam Darnold 7-2, Jets are 2-7. Vrabel's 8-2, the Titans are 1-8. Maybe the wrong guy got blamed in certain situations. And that's what it's kind of seeming like more and more with Daboll, unfortunately. Also, the record since Super Bowl 46, the Giants are 30th, 72-133-1. Only the Jets and the Browns are worse. That's it. Like, and the Jets and Giants record, they have the worst records in football since 2015. So in the last decade, the Giants are 31st at 59, 114, and 1, and the Jets are 58 and 115. Only a half a game, a tie separates them from being combined, tied for the worst record over the last 10 years. It's bad. They got to do something to change it. And then I mean, I don't know. It's just the Giants are 11 and 33 since the start of 2023. It's a 250 win percentage. Only the Tennessee Titans are worse since the beginning of 2023. And not only that, since the start of 2024, the Giants have only won 5 games since the start of 2024. There's 17 teams in the NFL right now who have won 5 games this year. It's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
It's as bad as it gets, honestly. So, that being said, that's really all I got to say on the Giants QB. I mean, I kind of went off there for a minute, but I can't believe that it took this long, unfortunately. But again, at the same time, I don't want to be the coaching carousel. So it's like I'm caught in a catch-22 here where I don't want it, but I want to get rid of him at the same time. It's a bad, awful feeling, and I hate feeling like the Browns. And that's kind of the way I'm feeling. That being said, I just hope that maybe we draft well, find a good coach. Maybe it's Kafka, maybe it's somebody else. We find somebody, and we get the ship righted. But next year, you're going to see the Giants are going to go back to a try-hard team. Why? Because every one of these players outside of this upcoming draft, all of these players, even Dart, Scatterbo, all these guys, they're not drafted by this head coach. So they got to prove out. They got to show out. They gotta make sure that they earn their spot, because new coach coming in is going to be looking at new talent, and he's going to be looking for his guys. And are you going to be one of his guys, or are you just going to be a guy who they end up moving on from? And that's what it comes down to. So we'll have to wait and see. That's enough about my shitty team and their awful situation. We can go to your shitty team now, and big condolences to Nealand, unfortunately. And yeah, I think that was in between our last shows, right? I don't think we mentioned that last show.
Yeah, no, that happened Thursday.
Yeah. So definitely unfortunate. And yeah, just my condolences to the Cowboy Nation on that one.
Yeah, it was a pretty sad story, man. Especially, I know it was a disappointing loss on Monday night for Dallas against Arizona, but him scoring his first career touchdown and celebrating with his teammates is really your last memory of him as a Cowboy player. So, for people that don't have the same, emotional attachment because you don't know him, never met him, or anything like that, right? Like, that's your last memory of him, and it's definitely a great way to remember somebody. But it just 24 years old, man, is just
too young.
It's just I can't even. You think about sitting here 40, 41 years old, like you don't realize it at the time, but at 24, man, your life's just getting going. Like there's still so much ahead of you that
oh yeah,
like it's just so sad to think about, and it's just. The mixed stories that you hear from the whole thing, it just, no matter how it's looked at, it's just a sad story. And, like you said, right, all you can do is send your thoughts and prayers to his family and his loved ones, and, hope that, he finds peace in that next step that comes after this thing we do here on Earth. So
I just wish anybody out there that needs it, if you need help, ask for it. If you need to talk to somebody, please. There's people out there that are willing to talk to you. Just reach out, please. It's not just you that you take out. It's your family too. Unfortunately. So again, thoughts and prayers. But again, anybody out there struggling with mental health or anything else like that, please reach out. If you need the help, because trust me, you don't want to be gone. There's too much to live for. There's too much to see, too much to do, and at 24 years old. There's no way you could have done it all by now. So
Yeah, that's the best way to say it. Right? If you need somebody to talk to, there's people there. There's
whether it be
support
family,
line.
friends, support lines, I mean, trust me, people would rather help you than go through this. Absolutely, every day of the week, people would jump at the opportunity to help or talk if they knew that this was the outcome. You know what I mean? And
100%.
just reach out. But so definitely had to bring that up real quick. Not something obviously we want to dwell on, but definitely had to mention it because it's an important story and it's sad one at that. I mean, a couple other just sad stories going around the league. Jackson Dart out with a concussion. Travis Hunter out for the rest of the season. Like, it just, there's not a ton of great news going on in the NFL right now, unless you're some teams who won this past week. So
yeah,
those are about the only happy people.
I mean, to try and get back in the scheme of the games, right? Like, you want to talk about being a sad fan base right now. Imagine if I told you in 3 weeks your team let up 13 points, 16 points, and 10 points, and they lost all 3 games.
Yeah.
Because if that hurts, then you're a Packers fan, right? I mean,
but how bad was that game to watch? What was it, 0-0 at halftime?
Yeah, no. I mean, it was great for me because I needed Green Bay defense. So I was pretty happy with the 0-0 and the low scoring game. I was just hoping Green Bay was going to be the team with 10 and pull off a win because fuck the Eagles. But yeah, no, it was not easy to watch, but in some aspect, I got sucked in the second half. I had no intentions of watching that whole game, and I got sucked in the second half. Something about that defensive battle. You really don't see many of them. It's the lowest scoring game of the NFL season.
We were
it's bookended
the first by him this year. Or by this week, we were bookended by him because the Thursday night game was equally as bad, 10-7. It was just as bad between the Broncos and the Raiders on Thursday.
Yeah, it was it was just. I mean, now it's just putrid football. I think Philly Green Bay was good defense.
Hold on, wait.
Fuck the Eagles.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean that was putrid football Thursday. I think you watched really good defense on Monday night, but either way, yeah, bookend on 10-7. I mean, those the 44.5 over bettors were not happy.
That's for sure. I mean, but just going through a couple other quick games. I mean, I thought the Chargers beating up on the Steelers was pretty interesting. I thought the Steelers give a little better fight on Sunday night. But it really wasn't much of a contest, I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, honestly, your afternoon, your Sunday games after 1 o'clock were pretty much just disappointing all around, right? You had 44-22 Seattle over Arizona, 44-22 Detroit over the Commanders, and then 42-26 with the Rams over the 49ers, 25-10 Chargers Steelers. That was another game that went was what 3-0 going in halftime. That was another low score,
yeah.
and then the Chargers went off in the second half.
Yeah. And then
right, yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, no, it wasn't. The back half of Sunday was not the most entertaining football unless you have fantasy players on the Rams or the Chargers or the Lions, right, or the Seahawks. Like, that was really the only value you got, man. Other than that, the 1 o'clock games were where it was at. I mean, Miami blowing out Buffalo. I mean,
that's a shocker,
Buffalo
but at the same time, like, I think the Dolphins have just been off all year. They have talent there. They could play. It's just something's been off with that team.
I mean, yeah, I think that's fair to say across the line with them. I mean, Waddle's definitely stepping up with Hill being out. But just I think Buffalo offensively, they don't have that guy. Right, I mean, Kincaid went down with a hamstring injury, and then they really lost it. So unless Cook can run all over a team,
but Coleman just hasn't turned into the number one that they were hoping they drafted.
Not at all. I mean, he shows glimpses of it, but it's definitely not the consistency that you need from what you would want to be your number one wideout. And they really, they got guys with talent, but nobody It was Mina Kim. She was talking about how like when you play zone against Buffalo, like they're moving the ball at like 9 yards a clip, but when you play man against them, it drops down to like 6. So like that's proof that your guys aren't winning one-on-one battles and they're not getting open or you're not scheming them open. It's something.
Exactly.
But whatever it is, you're not doing it and doing the right thing to get the points that you need. And man-to-man should be the easier battle to win. So
You're absolutely right.
Like that was a shocker. The Patriots beating the Bucs in Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay is still a pretty beat up team. But the Patriots are just playing really good fucking football. There's just no other way to say it. They're just playing really good football. And
they are, but the Bucs, I think the Bucs would be a different team if they had Bucky Irving, if they had, and I know Rashad White's played well, but, I think it would be different if they had like a two-headed monster instead of just Rashad White, if they had Bucky, plus if they had Mike Evans, I think, and then you had the 1-2 punch of Evans and Mbuka on the outside, that's, because you can't stack the box end and you can't double everybody on the outside. Something's going to happen on it. It makes them a much more dangerous team if those two guys are healthy. So that's where I look at it and I'm like, I think the outcome could have been reversed if those guys were healthy. And I'm just hoping that maybe we get to see a healthy Bucs team by the playoffs because they're expecting maybe Evans to be back by week 16 from the collarbone break. And Bucky should be back. If not this week, then the following week, hopefully. But he's on his way back. And if they can get healthy before the playoffs, that's a scary team. I got to be honest. In the NFC, that's a team that could push.
Oh, yeah. You've also they still got Godwin that's got it. He played one game, been out, but he's not putting him on IR. They're expecting him to bring him back. So,
and Mbuka could win Rookie of the Year. He's been playing that well. He's been really good, to start his career. So, yeah. I mean, that could kind of move us over into Week 11, see where, what this week's got in store for us. Oh, by the way, one more game just to mention real quick from last week that we didn't mention because, it was absolute shit. But the Jets actually picking up their second win. Gotta mention that. Beat the 2-7 Browns because you know why? Because that's what the Jets would do. They would go ahead and have a fire sale and then go win a game. So
yeah. I mean, the kick return and punt return touchdowns really helped them, obviously. And I saw this video that had me dying. It was like this guy recapping the top 10 worst throws from Week 10. And every throw was by the Browns quarterback.
Oh, I was going to say,
I just
Dylan
started dying. He did one honorable mention with Justin Fields, and then he just literally did 10 Dylan Gabriel throws. I was just like, oh my God, that's a freaking riot. You can't even make this shit up. I mean, Browns fans, bro, I feel for y'all. I really do.
Yeah, they're just but again, if you're a quarterback and you go to Cleveland, you know that you are in purgatory. You are in the one of the 7 stages of hell because you are never going to develop and you are never going to play well. It's just the way it goes. But yeah, to roll that into this week though, Jets on the road at the Patriots. I think the Patriots are going to stomp them out. It's a 12.5 point spread. That's a big spread. But no Garrett Wilson, who's going to be out the next 4 or 5 weeks. He just traded away the Sauce Gardner and Williams and all these guys on defense. I actually like New England here. Give me New England. Give me the 12.5. And I think they can cover it. And the over-under is 43.5. I'm going to go with the over. I don't know why. I know these games on Thursday nights haven't been the biggest or the most high scoring, so I should probably go under, but for some reason I'm going over because I think the Patriots could put up 43 themselves.
Yeah, I mean, division rivalry, all that fun stuff, but the Jets, with the way the Patriots have played, the Jets just don't have the talent to keep up with it, and that Patriots defense has been one of the best in the league over the last 7-8 weeks. And I just don't see that changing. So, yeah, I think the Patriots blow them out, and I think the Patriots on their own could easily put up 75 to 85% of that over under on their own without even trying. So this could be a game where Drake May doesn't even play the fourth quarter. So yeah, give me the Patriots across the board. Give me the over, and give me a snoozer on Thursday.
Typical Thursday. I mean, you want to talk about a snoozer, and one I am absolutely going to sleep right through. Now, you probably won't because Steph will probably have you up. But even if you're up, I doubt you're going to have any care or attention to the Commanders at Dolphins in London at 9:30 a.m.
Yeah, I can't say this will be one I'll go out of my way to put on the TV. I think the only reason that I'm even paying attention to this game is I have HN in my work league. And other than that, I have zero reason to care about this game. And even, like I said, even if I'm up, I don't know if I'm watching. I may be watching Sesame Street or, some other little kid show to keep her happy in the morning while I try to sleep holding her. So, yeah,
Well,
I can't say there's
She could watch Jalen Waddle after a touchdown do the waddle dance. Waddle, waddle, waddle.
I mean, she could, but she's a little young to understand what a penguin is or the waddle is. But we could try.
I don't know. Penguins.
I could try to get her to imitate it. That's for sure.
Penguins are my mom's favorite. So shout out mom when I talk about some penguins. But yeah. But that being said, Miami 2.5-point favorite. It's in Madrid, Spain. Again, I don't think anybody in Spain gives a damn about the NFL. I don't think anybody in all of Europe really gives a damn about the NFL, but they are pushing this hard, whether it's games in Germany, Spain, London, wherever it is, Mexico. They're trying to push it worldwide. It's not a worldwide sport. Please stop. Anyway, back to the game. Miami 2.5-point spread, given 2.5 to the Commanders, over under 47.5. Coming off of that win, is this a letdown for the Dolphins, or do they continue the momentum and get better and run off some games here? I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the latter. I think that the Commanders have some more injuries. If I'm not mistaken, they probably still got Mariota starting next week. So give me Miami minus 2.5, field goal difference, not that big a deal. I think this game, even if it is a field goal, cool. Give me Miami minus 2.5. Give me the over of 47.5. And yeah, take Dolphins on the money line, obviously, too. So that's the way I'm looking at the game. How you looking at it, Dave?
I mean, I don't see why you have any faith in the Commanders. No, Jaden Daniels didn't even travel with the team. Let's see. Deron Payne, their best defensive player, is suspended for the game for randomly just cold cocking him on St. Brown last week.
So I will say, I don't think he randomly did it. I think he did it because of what Amon-Ra St. Brown did. So apparently Trump was at the game, and he scored a touchdown and did the Trump dance and pointed up to Trump. And it was immediately after that Payne, whether he didn't like the celebration or didn't like Trump, decided to cock him or decided to hit him. So, that's how it went down. So it did happen after that. So that's where I think the motivation was. Is I don't think he appreciated the dance. But that being said, oh well, I mean, I guess, but at the same time, this is weird because you had the Jalen Carter thing earlier in the year. You have this now. It's just weird to see these defenders kind of going off the deep end on some of this stuff, because to me, I don't know, when you come up and just swing on a guy like that for, I don't know, but maybe he felt disrespected because it happened there, on their field. I don't know. I'm guessing that's what it was. He felt a little disrespected by it, but that being said, you've now taken yourself out of the game because you get yourself suspended and now you can't play. And really, you're the bad guy here because you did nothing but really hurt your team by doing that. That's
yeah, either way, it was still idiotic. I don't give a fuck. I mean, keep your political beliefs off the field. You're there to play a game.
I'm 100% with you on that. I watch sports, and I think you're this way too. We watch sports to get away from that crap. Like we watch sports. We watch sports to get away from that, like, real world divisiveness of everything else. Like, sports are divisive in their own way, but it's still at the end of the game, just a game. There's another one next week. There's, another game next season. There's more to be played. You know what I mean? Like it's a different type of energy, and it's just something that I definitely use as an escape to get away from all the other nonsense. So I'm with you. Keep it out of it, and keep the games fun.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I think there's still no reason to have faith in Washington. So, hey,
Yeah. Is there any faith though? And I want to take this in a different direction now, but to go on these world games that they're playing, whether it be Germany, Spain, whatever. What do you believe that the NFL's true end goal is? Is it to have a team in each one of these spots around the world, or is it to have just a team in London? Do you think it's them trying to push the globalness of it again? Like, I'm just wondering where the NFL's trying to go, because they can sell out stadiums here. They don't have to go to Madrid to sell out a stadium.
I mean, I think their end game goal is to get one or two teams over in Europe, but like one NFC, one AFC. Maybe you're doing like the AFC South and NFC East or something like that. I don't really, but I do think they want to get at least two teams on the other side of the pond and hope that it works. So that
the conferences, if they do that, because technically it's the National Football Conference and the American Football Conference. Like you start putting the teams out there, around the world. It's not necessarily national or American anymore. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that I would look at. Like, do you have to start renaming things? Do you rename the divisions? Do you have to do a whole shift like that?
I think it depends on the expansion. I think right now it's just a testing ground, right? Like, how many fans can we get in the seats? How many fans are actually there, enjoying the games? Like, I guarantee you there's some type of poll or some type of survey or something they have them fill out. They buy them a free beer for doing it or whatever it might be. But I'm pretty confident there's some type of way that they're using to judge on the actual feedback and investment that people across the pond have in the game, or are they just going because it's something different to do and it's only once a year?
I think that's more of what it is.
Yeah, because if that's the case, then you're not going to fund a team out there. But I think it's really just to test the market strategy right now, and they'll continue to try and expand and see where their best bets are, and whether it be Europe or South America, like, who knows? But I definitely think at some point they want to make it more of a global game. Even if it's just, almost like XFL league type teams where you just try to find, because I mean, if you think about it, right, the 98% of NFL talent is born and bred in America, right? Like, there are athletes around the world that are probably better than the guys that play the game. They just don't grow up playing the game. So,
but you think about it, though, that's us with every other. That's us with soccer. Like, our best athletes don't play soccer. They just don't. Our greatest athletes in America play every other sport and then soccer. They'll play baseball, they'll play football, they'll play basketball, they'll play hockey. They're not, for some reason, our best talent never makes it to soccer. Ever. And that's why we never win World Cups, to be honest with you. Like, that's just flat out. We would win World Cups if we had guys like LeBron James and Tyreek Hill and other things. Like, if Tyreek Hill was sprinting up and down the field, he'd be out racing everybody. You know what I mean? Like, if you put LeBron in goal, he's stopping every. Like, it's, you put different athletes in different spots. They could have excelled if they would have started there when they were younger. But we just don't have our youngest talent starting off by play. Like, you might start as like a youth playing soccer. We all did. But then by the time you get to 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, you're on to football, you're on to baseball, you're on to this, you're on to that. And you never really go back to, most people, I shouldn't say everybody, but most people don't go back to soccer. Unless they're in high school and, like, that's just the sport they excelled at. But for the most part, our best athletes play football, basketball, baseball, hockey. Like, those are the four major, that's why they're called the four major sports here. And until that changes, we're never going to change in soccer, but it's going to be that way around the world. If you try to have global teams, we're going to absolutely dominate them for years because their best talent isn't going to go into this. Their best talent isn't going to go into professional football. It's going to go into professional football.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's where they lose, right? So they got to see what true investment is it worth the investment to actually put a team out there? And for the time being, there's no reason to think that there is. So I think it's just they're going to keep dipping their toe in the water until they think it's actually worth, spending the money.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I do think the first team that heads over the pond, though, is the Jaguars. I think Con and the Jaguars are the first team to make the move when and if it happens. But that being said,
100%.
That being said, keeping it moving on this week, I got to bring this game up, and because to me, I look at these two teams, and I would have flipped their records. I absolutely. If you told me at the beginning of the year, 10 weeks through the season, where are these two teams at? I would have told you that you could have flipped their records, and I would have said perfect. And that's the Panthers at the Falcons, 1:00 Sunday. Panthers are 5-5, actually 500 on the year, 10 games through the season. I can't remember the last time the Panthers were this good. It was probably way back when they still had, McCaffrey and maybe.
I was thinking Cam Newton.
Yeah, like that long ago. So good for the Panthers. They seem to be doing much better this season than last, and looks like Bryce Young's turning things around, and the Panthers themselves are just turning things around. So, and Rico Dowdle is running like a man possessed there. So good for the Panthers. That being said, though, Falcons 3-6, not where I expected them, because I honestly expected them to be kind of nipping at the heels of the Bucs, possibly for the division. I thought they would be a better team. They have talent. They're another team that baffles me with the talent they have, between everybody from Pitts to London to Bijan to Penis to Penix or whatever his name is to they have a good squad. I don't know why they're 3-6. Help me make sense of it, Dave. They're home this week. Who's taking this win? Over under 42.5. Falcons are given 3.5.
When these two teams played each other in like week 3 or week 2, Carolina won 30-0. So I'm sure Atlanta's had this circled on their calendar for a while. They're coming off of a tough loss in overtime against the Colts. And when it's all said and done, Atlanta's one of those teams where you're like, how are you not getting the ball to your best playmakers? I mean, Bijan's not getting even 20 touches a game. You got Kyle Pitts out there. I mean, it's like they pick one player, and then they're like, we're only going to give him the ball. So, like, this past Sunday, Drake London had a great game, right? But, like, Bijan and Kyle Pitts are almost nowhere to be found, and you get Tyler Algier getting 2 touchdowns. All right, cool. Like, you got the touchdowns, but, like, your top players should be getting the ball and giving them a chance to make plays, and I feel like they're not balanced enough on offense. They become very predictable. And I think that's what's killing them more than anything else is that. And I think Carolina's found a very, very good formula that works for them, right? Run the ball, play action. Don't put too much on Bryce Young's plate. You have a pretty decent defense, and they're riding that wave. But I think Atlanta comes up with the win in this game. They're due for a bounce back. I think they're better than their 3-6 record. Maybe not by much, but I do think they're better than their 3-6 record, maybe 4-5. And I think they're a team that really needs to get back to the basics of football, which is put the ball in your best players' hands and trust them to go make plays. I don't think it's rocket science for Atlanta on offense. And defensively, they're just spending too much fucking time on the field. Too many 3-and-outs, not enough drives by the offense. I think all their problems are really resting on the offense, and we know Penix is definitely better than Cousins at this point, so you got to keep riding the wave with him and let him earn his stripes.
Got to ride the penis. That's what they say. So.
I mean, not word for word how I would have said it, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm going the same way. I'm taking the Falcons. I actually I was almost going to take the Panthers getting the 3.5. I think they can keep it within a field goal. I think it could be a close game. So I'm going to do that, actually. I'm going to take the Panthers getting the 3.5. I'm going to take Atlanta on the money line, thinking they win at home by a field goal. And 42.5 is pretty low. The last time it was a 30-0 game, so they were on the under anyway. Screw it, I want to root for points. Give me the over. That being said, though, the next game, though, is a big game. I think it could be game of the week almost, because you have one team looking to bounce back. You got another team looking to stay on top. And both teams are a little beat up. And that's the Bucks, 6-3 Bucks at the 6-3 Bills. Buffalo given 5.5, over under 48.5. What do you think? Both teams. So I will say too, the Bucks are 4-1 on the road, and the Bills are 4-1 at home.
I mean, we're approaching mid-November football in Buffalo, so we're not at the point where it fully is their home field advantage that they get in December. I wish I knew more about the Bucks. Like you said, right? Is Bucky Irvin playing this week? Is there a chance that Godwin plays this week? I wish I knew more. You know what? Give me the Bucks on the road.
Wow.
I'll take the over. What the Bills are giving? What?
Bills are given 5.5.
Yeah, give me the Bucks getting the 5.5. Give me the Bucks winning, and give me the over.
Damn, nice. So I'm going a little bit different. Same. I think the Bills win the game outright. Or no, I'm sorry, not the same. I think the Bills win the game outright, but I think that the Bucks keep it within 5.5. I think 5.5 is a pretty big spread for two teams that are 6-3. So I'm going to take the Bucks getting the 5.5. I'm going to take the Bills on the money line and give me the under of 48.5, as I think both teams are good on offense, but if Bucky doesn't play, if Godwin doesn't play, and the Bills on a bounce back, but still, I'm going the under. I'm going the under. I think both defenses are going to show up.
I mean, they're due to, that's for sure.
So that being said, I mean, the next game, are the Titans ever going to win a game? I don't even really want to pick this one. It's so bad. Like the Titans, they're 1-8, 0-4 at home. They don't look good at all. Houston given 6.5. Over under is probably the lowest of the week at 38.5, because nobody's got any faith in the Titans right now. And I mean, you really don't hear any buzz about Cam Ward either. It's been, I don't know, kind of radio silent, in my opinion, about him. Like, outside of maybe the Nashville area, I haven't heard a peep about him in this area. And
he's definitely not striving for offensive rookie of the year, that's for sure.
No. So, that being said, give me Houston all the way. Give me Houston giving the 6.5. Give me the over of 38.5, because Houston may put that up themselves. And yeah, give me Houston all the way on that one.
Yeah, I'll take Houston all the way, but I'm going to take the under. I think it's going to be an ugly game, because I don't think what's his name at quarterback's playing. I think they're going to have Mills again at starting. So I'm going to take the under, but I'll take Houston across the board with everything else.
All right. Next game surprises me a little bit on the spread anyway. Minnesota giving 3.5 to the Bears. Minnesota 4-5 on the year. Bears 6-3, 3-2 on the road. Coming off the win against the Giants, in which they came back in the fourth quarter to win. They got a couple, I think, comeback wins this year already. So it surprises me that Minnesota would be a 3.5 point favorite here. I'm actually going to go with the Bears getting the 3.5. I think this is a game, though, that, again, division game could be close. Give me Minnesota on the money line at home. And over-under's 48.5, division game. I'm going to go with the under.
Yeah, I'll take the under. I'll take the Bears getting the 3.5, but I'm with you. I'll take the Vikings on the money line. I think division game. I think Chicago's definitely improving, but like some of the ways they're winning these games, like that luck runs out at some point. Like I don't think they're your, to use an NCAA basketball term, right? Like I don't think they're a Cinderella team this year. That's gonna end up like running the table and taking that division away from Detroit. So, yeah, I think you see a little bit of that luck sputter out, and Minnesota getting that win on the money line.
All right. So yeah, we're in agreement there. I think it might be the first game we've clean sweeped.
That's not a bad thing.
No. So next one up, Packers at Giants. How bad are the Packers going to kick their ass? I think pretty bad.
I don't know, man. That Packers offense is putrid.
Yes,
I'm
Packers
sorry.
are
Like I said, man.
7.5-point favorite in this game. Over under 43.5. I might go with the under because I agree with you that the offenses are putrid. But I still have more faith in the Packers offense. So right now, especially if Daniel Dart's, especially if Jackson Dart's not starting.
Yeah, I would agree. Right, if Dart's not starting, then I'll take the under. But I'd still take the Giants getting the 7.5. I'll take the Packers on the money line, but I'll take the Giants getting the 7.5. I don't think this may be a very ugly game because again, and then you just found out this morning. The Packers starting center is going to be out at least a couple weeks, could end up on season-ending IR. He got his ankle rolled up on yesterday, and the initial MRI results are not promising, according to LaFleur. So that's another blow to the offense. And Romeo Dobbs got a rib injury last night, so you don't know what his status is going to be. Their first round pick Golden missed this week. Maybe he plays against the Giants, but he hasn't really done anything to wow you yet so far in his career. So, yeah, give me the Giants getting the 7.5. I'll just take the Packers money line and I'll take the under.
All right, yeah. Moving on to the Bengals at Steelers. Another game I really don't care about.
That was upset him, 2.5, 3 weeks ago on Thursday night?
Yeah, they did. So, I mean, this is a revenge game. I expect the Steelers to kick their ass, I'll be honest with you. So, give me the Steelers, give them 5.5. Give me the Steelers on the money line, and give me, again, division game. I'm going under.
What's the over-under number? I'm looking at it on Google. I don't have it on ESPN. Okay.
48.5 is what I'm looking at.
All right, yeah. Give me Pittsburgh. Give him points. Give me Pittsburgh money line, but I'll take the over. I think these teams will score points.
All right. So then that just about wraps up the 1 o'clock games here. Last one is Chargers at Jaguars. This one could be a good game too. Chargers 2.5-point favorite on the road. Over under 43.5. Jaguars did just find out that Travis Hunter is going on season-ending IR. Again, with that feedback, I don't know.
I mean, if it helps, I'm not hearing it. So hopefully it's on the recording.
Hopefully. Yeah, 7-3 Chargers, 5-4 Jags. And yeah, that being said, Chargers are playing well. Give me the Chargers on the road, laying the 2.5. And give me the over in this one of 43.5.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence is rapidly playing himself into a permanent career backup role. And I don't think that gets any better this week. So give me the Chargers, give them the 2.5. Give me the over. Give me the Chargers money line. But yeah, I think this is the Chargers game to lose. I don't really see Jacksonville with much of a chance in this one.
All right. Takes us to the 4 o'clock games. Seahawks at Rams. 7-2 Seahawks, 7-2 Rams. This is for the division lead. Rams are 3.5-point favorite. Over under 48.5. 4-0 on the road are the Seahawks. 3-1 at home for the Rams. I'm going to go with the Seahawks on the road here. Give me the Seahawks all the way. I think they win outright. I think they win. Give me them getting the 3.5, and give me again division game. I'm going under.
All right. So we're going to differ a little bit. I'll take the Seahawks getting the 3.5, but I'll take the Rams money line. Because like you said, division game, I think it's a tight one. I think this could actually end up being your game of the week, the most entertaining game to watch.
Tell you what, since Sam
if
Darnold got out of the jet purgatory of hell, he's done nothing but succeed. Or no, I should say once he got out of the Jets in Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, went to Minnesota, and now he's doing well. Went to Seattle, now doing well.
Yeah, I think you're going to watch the Darnold JSN versus Stafford and Nakua show. So I think this is going to be a high scoring game, actually. I mean, both teams have pretty good defenses, but the league and the rules are created for the offense. So give me the over. Give me the Seahawks getting the 3.5. Give me the Rams money line.
All right. Takes us to the 4 o'clock games. This one I think is going to be pretty easy. Clean sweep, probably. 6-4 49ers at 3-6 Cardinals. San Fran 2.5 point favorite. Over under 49.5. I'm going San Fran all the way and taking the under. I just think San Fran's the better team.
Yeah, no, we're a clean sweep on that one. And they might get Purdy back, which, I mean, no offense to Mac Jones, should be an upgrade for him. So, yeah, no, clean sweep with you on that one.
Awesome. Moving on. Ravens 4-5. They're on the uptick, especially now that they got Lamar back. Right? Lamar's back. Came back this past week.
Yep.
2-7 Browns at home. I don't care. Browns stink. It doesn't matter who they start at quarterback. They're gonna stink. So, give me the Ravens. They're laying 7.5 total. Over unders 39.5. I'm going the over, and I'm taking Baltimore all the way. I think Baltimore beats up on the Browns this week. I know it's a division game. They're usually closer, but I don't care. Give me Baltimore laying the 7.5. Give me Baltimore on the money line, and give me the over 39.5.
The Ravens scored 35, I think, or 41 in their first matchup against the Browns this year. So, yeah, I'm definitely taking the over. I'll also take them giving 7.5. The Browns they can't get out of their own damn way. That defense keeps them in the game for as long as possible, but it won't be enough. At some point, the Ravens will break a few and put the Browns in their rearview mirror and win their 4th game in a row and be right there in the race for the top spot in the division.
All right. Keeping it moving. Last 4 o'clock game. I mean, another game you could consider game of the week. 4-5 Chiefs at 6-2 Broncos. Or I'm sorry, 8-2 Broncos. 5-4 Chiefs. My eyes. End of the day. Tired of looking at screens. 5-4 Chiefs, 8-2 Broncos. Broncos 5-0 at home. KC laying 3.5. Over under 44.5. Our favorite over under. There it is. Finally popping up. Division game. Broncos have been playing well, but I don't care. I think the Chiefs are on their way up. Give me the Chiefs laying the 3.5. Give me the Chiefs on the money line, and give me the over because I want to root for some points.
Yeah, I definitely want to root for some points as well. Also, I think if the Chiefs lose, this game, there's a chance of winning the division's over. I just think that puts the Broncos too far ahead. But honestly, the Broncos just have not been. They've taken advantage of bad teams. That's really what the Broncos have done this year, and they haven't been able to beat the good teams. So, what's the spread?
Spread. It's our favorite spread.
Well, that's our over/under. What's the spread?
Oh, the spread's 3.5. Sorry, 3.5.
All right, so the Chiefs are giving. Yeah, give me the Chiefs giving the 3.5. Chiefs money line, and I think it's a defensive battle, so I'm going to go with the under.
All right. And that being said, leading us into Sunday night, again, there's a lot of good games this week, actually. And the more you go through the schedule, Lions at Eagles, 6-3 Lions, 7-2 Eagles. Eagles 3-1 at home, Lions 3-2 on the road. Philly laying 2.5 and the over-under is 46.5. This is an interesting game to me because, again, I think the Lions are on the way up. I think the Eagles are the top of the NFC East. I think the Lions need this game more.
Oh, winner of this game gets a head start on the race for the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah,
So this game's about as big as it can be.
So I'm going to take the Lions on the money line. I'm going to take the Lions getting the 2.5, and I'm going to take the over because I think both teams can score.
I will take the Lions getting the 2.5. I'll take the Lions money line, but I'll actually take the under because I think Philly's defense is really good, and their offense is about as inconsistent as humanly possible. So, I think the Lions keep it low scoring. I think Philly keeps it low scoring, and pretty much boils down to a field goal to end the game. And I think Detroit's the one kicking it to win. So, give me Detroit getting the 2.5 money line, and give me the under on this one.
All right, and that leads us into our last game of the week, Monday night, Cowboys at Raiders. Cowboys 3-5-1, 1-4 on the road. Raiders 2-7, 1-3 at home. Looks like nobody wants to win this game. Dallas laying 3.5, over under 50.5. That's a big over under, especially for a Raiders team that put up 7 points last week. So, or whatever was 10 points, whatever crap number they put up. So I'm going the under automatically. You can give me the under. Give me the Cowboys because they should be better than this crappy Raiders team. I don't know what happened to Geno Smith, but I mean, I feel like he left Seattle and left the playbook or his mind there because he's not the same QB. And if Dallas doesn't win this game, then I don't even know.
Yeah, I like to think Dallas wins this game just simply after everything that's gone on during their bye week with the loss of Nealon. So they're also they're adding their 2 new additions from the trades to the defense, as well as getting their potential star linebacker and Overshawn back. They're getting a rookie corner that they drafted this year that they really have high hopes for back. So they're adding 4 pieces to the defense. But with that said, this defense just is just atrocious. So they're still going to give up yards and they're going to give up points. But I think that offense keeps up with it compared to what we saw on Monday night against Arizona. So I'm going to take the over. I'll take the Cowboys giving points. I'll take the Cowboys on the money line, but I'll take the over. I think you're going to see a lot of points in this game.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for Week 11 picks. I don't know if there's anything else you had, but that's all I have for you this week, my friend.
No, nothing at this point. I mean, you had a crazy night of some crazy game winners last night in the NBA. The Bulls got embarrassed by the tallest human being that can handle a ball I've ever seen. He just dropped daggers on him. He had an alley-oop by Miami with time expiring for a dunk that won them a game. He had a crazy fadeaway 3 that won Orlando a game last night. So he had some exciting moments, but we're not even, I think, 10, 12 games into the season yet, so no need to get too crazy. College basketball is just really getting going. NHL hockey is pretty much about full swing now, about 20 games in or so. So we're reaching that prime time, all the meat on the bone time of year for me. So excited for what's to come, but no, I got a fiance upstairs I got to go get dinner for, and she's taking care of putting the peanut down. So my job is get dinner.
All right. Well, I'm going to go eat some dinner myself. Just shout out Roll Tide to Bama, number 4 in the college football playoffs. So you can see much of that. My walls are covered with that stuff. So Roll Tide, I'm just going to shout that out. Big game this week against Oklahoma coming up. So Oklahoma ranked number 11 right now in the standings. So big week this week in Bama football. Just throw it out there real quick. Roll Tide. Other than that, till next week, my friend, why don't you tell everybody where they can see you? By the way,
no.
But no. Before I do that, there's something very important we haven't done all show. Thank you to our veterans out there, because today's Veterans Day. So shout out to Chris. Shout out to all our other friends, my buddy Andrew, a ton of other people, and I know friends and family that have served. Shout out to everybody who has served out there. You've done an incredible service and can't thank you enough. So I just needed to say that, Dave. I'm sure you echo those sentiments.
Hell yeah, my man. Thank you to all our men and women that have served this country. Wouldn't be where we are, wouldn't be the country we are if it wasn't for you guys. And I am proud to say that I am an American. So, it wouldn't be able to say that without them. And for all the sacrifices you made for us, just can't thank you enough.
Absolutely. So, just wanted to shout that out quick, but definitely thank you to all our servicemen and women. So, Dave, why don't you, again, start shouting out where people can find you. We'll wrap this thing up.
Yeah, no, it's D Hastings 23 on Instagram and David Hastings 23 on X, formerly known as Twitter. And those are really the only two places to take up your time.
Find me at The Living Legend on X. You can find Louie at Louie Aussie Dude on Instagram. He was a little guy running around in here acting all crazy. You can find us at ChampsCast on Facebook, which we should be now hopefully getting over 100 people on there, so we can start streaming there live. Who knows? We may start streaming to TikTok soon as well. We are on TikTok at ChampsCast, and we are on YouTube at ChampsCast. That's Champs with a Z, honoring our Sport Zone heritage. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to anybody in the chat we didn't get to. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to John. Shout out to everybody and anybody. Marissa, Julie, Janice, Amanda, everybody, Mama H, everybody out there listening. We love and appreciate you all. So thank you very much. And until next time, I'd like to leave you with some words of encouragement.
More than anything, I want better execution. Are we clear on that? Execution.
Until next time, my friend. Be good.
Appreciate you, brother.
And live like a champ. Boom.